President Trump saying all mines have been removed from the Strait of Hormuz. However, a Bloomberg report says that U.S. allies have warned that mines remain in the waterway. Joining us right now to talk about the latest in the war is Peter Alexander, Z-Man Advisors founder and managing director. Good morning to you. You're our China expert, so let's talk China. Let's talk about what Bessent said earlier in the week. Let's talk about what kind of economic pressure can ultimately be put on Iran and whether you think China politically is prepared to do that.
Well, it all depends on what Secretary Bessent is prepared to do, actually. But one thing I can tell you that is from the comments that Secretary Bessent made the other day, there was one very unintentional outcome, and that was he turbocharged global adoption for the Chinese currency, for the renminbi, because what absolutely took place was a demonstration, and I think this was relatively known by everybody, that usage of the U.S. dollars, usage of the rail system, the New York correspondent banks, SWIFT, you name it, is now very conditional. It's conditioned on whatever the Treasury Department determines it needs to do. And if you do not abide by whatever Treasury says needs to be done, then you are at risk. So this is something that China has been preparing for over a decade. And I would implore both yourselves and all of your audience to start looking into this China Interbank Payment System, so-called CIPS, which was introduced back in 2015 and somewhat unironically was the outcome of the Obama administration when it first went and cut the first Chinese bank from the SWIFT network back in 2012. So what I can guarantee you is if, in fact, Secretary Bessent does move on Chinese banks, there will be repercussions. And we can just go back to Liberation Day, and China does have an enormous amount of leverage even to this very day.
But Peter, that's the point. You're on one end, you're saying, well, how far does the administration and the Treasury Department in the U.S. go? And I think part of what I'm trying to understand is how far does China go, and does that prevent the Treasury Department from going as far as it has suggested it plans to?
I think that's the ultimate, what I find confounding, because what are the options here? Either Secretary Bessent follows through. I mean, I don't think it is open to debate that the biggest commercial partner with Iran is China, whether it's buying their oil or providing support in other ways. And that is done through a series of different architectures that go outside the U.S. dollar system. So the only approach would be for the Treasury Department to move on either Chinese banks directly or indirectly. And that would then cause so basically the wrath of Beijing, and God knows what approach that they would take. Or they don't at Treasury follow through and they don't target Chinese banks. And all of this looks as though it was a complete bluff, which further, I think, erodes the whatever future threats that may come out of the Treasury Department. But I cannot stress enough, the real outcome here is that Beijing planned for this. It's been in process for the longest of time. So even if Treasury were to move,
Peter, how are you handicapping this? Because you heard what I heard from the Treasury Secretary. I watched the press conference. You watched the press conference. Everybody in China watched the press conference. And I think we're all trying to handicap, because it sounds like either you're saying either it's a bluff and he's not going to do it, or you're suggesting he's going to do it and something pretty crazy in terms of a tariff war or something worse is going to happen afterwards. And I'm trying to understand from your perspective which one you'd handicap is more likely.
I would handicap that it would be, technically, if we put it into these two buckets, it would be a bluff. But what I suspect, and I think most people would also agree with this, that is taking place right now is some form of behind the scenes conversations in which Beijing would be able to maybe far back in certain areas. But quite frankly, Beijing is emboldened. They feel very confident that with regard to this very important geopolitical relationship